Hello everyone and welcome to GSRC's coverage of round 11 of the iRacing Kamel GT series from the historic Brands Hatch Grand Prix course. Hi, I'm Samuel Ryman and alongside me in the booth is Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes doing all the button pushing is our director Amjad Yamin, and he's using camera sets provided by Dougie Beard. Sean, it's crunch time in the championship with just 2 rounds left to go, but hopefully it's not crunch time here at this circuit, although I know that the first few turns of this track are very, very tricky.
Sam, they are. Let me tell you a little something about this 2.3 mile, 3.7 kilometer, very short track, 9 turns, 40-minute race day. It'd be about 33 laps for the GTPs, about 29 for the GTO. But located right here in West Kingsdown in Kent, England. Originally used as a military training ground. And they had their first actual race here at about 1926. Then it was just over 4 miles, and it was between cyclists and cross-country runners. What an event that must have been out here in Kent. And, you know, since then, Brands Hatch has offered a couple different layout configurations. The old Grand Prix layout, which is about 3.7 miles and 9 turns, and well, that's the one we're working on today. And then the Indy layout, which is a lot shorter, just over 2 miles long, it has only 6 turns. But they have hosted 12 British Grand Prix here between 1964 and 1986. But enough of that. Best way to get an idea of what this place is really like is to jump on board for another GSRC lap guide around Brands Hatch.
All right, we've got Clayton McLeod and the GSRC Nissan, so let's do a lap around Brands Hatch. Paddock Hill Bend always presents difficulty in getting the car to turn in and feel stable. The car will compress at the bottom of the hill, and then you've got a passing opportunity in the braking for Druids. The uphill entry shortens that braking zone, so it'll be tough. But square off your exit and then switch sides to line up for Graham Hill Bend. You can use a fair bit of the runoff on the outside, but be wary of how eager you are with the right pedal. Along the Cooper Straight, you've got a critical corner approaching in Surtees. A late apex and keeping traction here will be important to finding lap time, since you'll be flying along Pilgrim's Drop for quite a while now. You'd think the high speeds would offer passing opportunities into Hawthorne's Bend, but this sweeper is so fast and there's so little braking that it makes it pretty hairy to attempt anything. Now we're into the unforgiving back half of the course. Westfield is a quick flick, and then feed the throttle back in and spot your brake marker for Sheen. This blind apex will undoubtedly catch a few drivers out and ruin some people's day. Then comes Sterling, which has a lot of banking and really rewards you if you can tuck it down in with some speed. Finally, there's a short breather on the run up to Clark. Let the car drift off to the left and then throw out the anchors. The rise in the middle will create some understeer, but try to get to the power as quickly as you can for the rapid run up the pit straight. And with that, you've now finished a lap around Brands Hatch.
Oh, I think while this lap guide is getting started, Sean, we can take a quick break. Oh, wow, it's already over. Boy, these things get around this track fast. You just look at it. I mean, even sitting, this is a track I've been to in real life, even sitting over there in the Turn 1 grandstand, you can pretty much see half a course, which is something not a whole lot of road courses can say, especially tracks that have been Grand Prix courses in the past. Currently, qualifying is underway. It's an 8-minute long session. You see they have 6 minutes left, so plenty of time to get 2 time laps in around this short circuit. But because those lap times aren't in yet, let's take a look at the point standings, because there's a lot of them. There's 2 different cars, the GTP and the GTOs, but there's 2 different championship fights going on in each of them. In GTP, we have these overall GTP standings where you see there it's Rob Almanac currently in the lead, but only by 6 points over driver racing on home soil today, Jamie Hall. Just 6 points back there. Going to check, yeah, Jamie Hall is here today. He's in the number 7 car. But then also we have the GTP lights before we get over to the Audi. So let's take a quick look at that. And these are, you know, drivers kind of just getting their feet wet in the series here. We're only counting those 2 teardrops you see at the start, at the top there, Currently, we're only counting 2 of 4 drop weeks, I believe these guys will get at the end of the season. And once again, John Keefe still keeping our points leader there, Louise Emerton, honest at the top of the standings. Let's jump over the GTO here. These are the Audis, which you can tell have a lot more typical box car design as opposed to the prototype look that the GTP Nissans have. Ove Trandre just 3 points over Michael Houghton there. Only all 4 drop weeks being accounted for in those point standings that you see tallied up on screen. And then they also have their GTU standings. And likewise over there, a bit more of a gap up top there. Riley Thompson has a 14-point cushion. That's a pretty healthy cushion, I would say, Sean, with just 2 rounds left to go.
Yeah, and Reed Miller's been a big mover lately. The Canadian coming up the board a little bit further, looks to challenge Shanahan for the top 3. Franco Scurry, who's had a solid season, there in second. And look for more good things from Scurry today here at Brands Hatch. Sam, this is going to be a fun one. Tight track, really short. Traffic will come up on the Audis really quick here today, maybe within about the first 3 to 4 laps. This is going to be a slugfest here.
But one thing the drivers will have going for them, Sean, is they're not going to experience as much tyre wear or sliding around as normal because the track temperatures are quite cool. That could create some action, though, early on while the tyres are still getting up to temperature.
Sam, it could. It's a lovely day outside here in England, but a little cool. It's only about 23 degrees centigrade on track. Mostly cloudy, about 20 degrees centigrade outside. There are the Fahrenheit temperatures there for you folks, 71, 82 on track. A little bit of wind out of the south, but I don't think that'll be much of a factor today, Sam. Look for good grip, fast racing, and as I said, really tight quarters to make a pass here today.
Yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to iRacing, the races in England are not the most realistic because iRacing doesn't have rain yet. But that is, we do get some sunny days in England sometimes, and these drivers enjoying the most of it right now. The driver making the most of it currently is Tapani Lina Deruto, who has a pole position in GTP by 0.4 of a second with a couple minutes left to go in the session. Over in the Nissans, over in the Audis, even closer, Sean.
Yeah, boy, really close there at the top. Phillip, in and around the lake, a 123.408. Ove Trendgrade, who's still out there, or just completed his second lap. Ove with a 123.430. Sam, that's blistering. And then everybody else in the 124 is just behind. But I'll tell you what, the start going to be so important for both of those drivers, Phil and Ove. Look for a real battle heading down into Druids for the first time.
Yeah, and I mentioned at the top of the show, Sean, and I'm sure we also alluded to this in our lap guide. That first turn is very, very, very tricky. And I've got to ask, in your races on this track in the past, do you have a preference for starting inside and outside? I know all these drivers are qualifying as fast as they can, but at the end of the day, which lane do you feel more comfortable in for that opening corner?
I feel a little bit more comfortable on the inside, Sam. I get in trouble out there on the outside. I find myself in the dirt, and of course, what happens when you're in the dirt and you try to get back to the track? Sometimes you'll misjudge your throttle management there, and you'll get the car around, and that's certainly not how you want to open your race. So give me the safety of the inside there heading up into Paddock Hill Bend for sure.
You see the top left corner of your screen there, counting down the amount of seconds we have left in qualifying right now. Ove Trandre, and actually Trandre just came in. Hone Kajanen is currently the only driver left on track, and he has yet to turn a lap time. I wonder if he had he's turned 2 laps, so I fear that means he ran off course on both of his qualifying attempts.
I'm
Oh,
pretty.
still have Reed Miller out there. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, no, I was about to bring Reed up. Actually, he just finished his second lap, and you know what? I don't think he's going to like that qualifying starting spot today. Again, the driver's been doing some really good things over the last several weeks, but boy, eighth on the grid, going to be a tough spot to come back from. Again, the traffic's really going to catch up quick here. You've got to do your fighting for position early, because before you know it, if you're in an Audi, because before you know it, they're going to be in your mirror coming through, and that means changing your racing line and doing things that you might not normally do. But this is going to be an interesting and a fun race today. A good field, 23 cars. Sam, they're gridding up now.
Yes, a pace car you see at the front of the field, not a random spectator who has drove his car out onto the racetrack, which has happened here before. Behind that pace car, you will see our front row for the GTPs. They are Tapani Linoluoto, 0.4 of a second ahead of Artoti Hamaki. Rob Almanek is back there in third position, almost a full second of Linoluoto's time, considering the fact it's a very short lap. That tells you how fast that time was by the driver of the number one starting on pole. Nicholas Mukanos will be starting in fourth position ahead of Michael Rudenbrink, and he has the number 19 on his car in a single split. So the fact that he's able to qualify up there in fifth is a very strong, very impressive qualifying performance there. Jamie Hall will be rounding out the third row ahead of Fabian Jungbluth and Radar Adressen in 8th position. Louise Emerton and Clayton McLeod round out the top 10. Rounding out the GTP field, we have John Keefe and Johnny Bell, who did not set a lap time. 12 cars in GTP. What about GTO, Sean?
All right, let's go to the GTOs real quickly here. It's going to be Phil in and around the lake, starting on the pole. Ove Trengrade right there with him. Row 2, Riley Thompson, Michael Houghton, the Texan, looking for more success today. Row 3, Franco Scurry and Marco Kika. Ben Laughter, Reed Miller on row 4. Go down to row 5. It's going to be Hideki Koivitso and Richard Gill. And in 11th place, the final car on the grid, Yoni Kaishinen. Sam's got 3 on his car. He's starting all the way at the back. This should be fun, watching Kaishinen try to get through this field as quickly as he can before the Nissans make their way through. The pace car is off. Let's go, Sam.
Yeah, well, the good news Kaishinen has there, Sean, is he has that inside lane that you were talking about there. You say you prefer the start from that inside. He's got it all to himself. He can take a nice racing line through that first turn and then keep it on the inside as they go up through droids where a lot of passes can be made. However, if there is chaos in the opening couple of turns, then let's be honest, there's a possibility with 23 cars, very hard to drive cars on a very hard to drive course in a single split, so a variety of different experience levels. He's going to have to find a way around it. And one thing our viewers have probably already noticed just by watching the scenes around here, even if you haven't watched a race at Brands Hatch before, one thing significant about this track is the amount of elevation change you get around here, and that means, of course, there are lots and lots of blind spots, which doesn't help either.
Sam, the biggest problem for me on this track, Sterling's Bend, turn 8, left-hander's wicked, and boy, it's very narrow. The exit of that, very easy to get the car offline, and I look for some of these drivers to possibly struggle there today. They'll be coming up on here in a moment as they head through Dingledale and down to Sheen.
And only a couple of turns left until they get the green flag. A pace car will pull out of the way and Lino Luoto will have control of the field. These drivers won't have to worry about pit stops this race. It's only a 40-minute long race, as we mentioned. That'll be about 33 laps for the GTP cars, about 29 laps for the Audis. So lap traffic will definitely play a factor. Here they come through the final turn. The pace car about to make the hard right-hander. Lino Luoto has control of the field. He's going early, he's going fast. And here we go racing here at Brands Hatch. The GTP's getting single file up front. First battle was for fourth. What about the GTOs?
Man, Phil Lake got a huge jump on Ove Trengrade, and he's going to get up to the top of the hill first. But Trengrade brings it in deep He sends it, swings out to the outside. Trent Gray picks up a little bit of ground, going to break a lot deeper here into Druids. Behind him, they're side by side. Looks like everybody's going to make it through turn 2 with great success, down to 3.
Yeah, that's Michael Rutenbrink. You may have seen off on the side there that number 19 car. We mentioned he had a great qualifying performance given his number over in the prototype division. However, spin out of Druids and he got into the wall. No free repairs in this series, so that's going to leave him with a bit of work to do.
Kajanen back here already attacking. Picked up one spot. He's got Rugenbrink right behind him trying to come through already. Oh, and Rugenbrink gets his nose chopped off just a bit by Reed Miller there. Miller had to take his line.
Yeah, Rugenbrink, it looks like he's been able to recover okay. Of course, he's lost a lot of time to his fellow Nissan competitors. But up front, it's Lino Luruto. Trendray in trouble.
A mistake early there by Trendray. Almost loses it there coming out of Clark. Got a replay of it for you. Here he is coming into Clark. He just runs it out wide there, Sam. Does a good job bringing it back to the track, though, without anybody else involved.
Fabian Junebluth also with a bit of trouble early on. He came into the pit road at the completion of the first lap. His number 10 machine doesn't look too beat up, though. He's just so he's going to be able to continue, just have his work cut out for him. Wonder if that's as simple as not putting in a race amount of fuel. I have to go back and check that.
Well, Sam in the Audis, Ove Trendgrade in more trouble right now as Ben Laughter is trying to complete a pass on him. Ove just off to a terrible start. He's continuing to struggle here just a bit, and Laughter seems to have the pace over him right now. Laughter already up 2 spots through the field. There he goes, Trendgrade with another problem. Swings it out wide, and yeah, Laughter's going to get it. Right there in Sterling's Bend. He gets it on the exit.
So that will move Laughter up to 5th position in the class behind Philip Blake, Michael Houghton, Riley Thompson and Franco Scurry.
Scurry up there on the attack, boy. Ran right up on Riley. Went in deep on the brakes into Paddock Hill Bend. Gets a good run off and down into Druids. Tell you what, it's still a very, very close battle here amongst the top 4, Sam. Houghton's not losing sight here of Phil. Phil's not able to run away here early, and Sam, don't look now, but it won't be long. And P1 Tapani Lilawuto will be coming through. I'm going to guess maybe in about a lap and a half.
Yeah, I mean, look at just how quickly Michael Rutenbrink was able to make his way back up through the field of Audis. Despite that early spin, of course, he was able to easily work his way, easily able to pick off the GTO leaders one by one and get himself back up into contention with the rest of the GTPs. However, unfortunately, he's about 10 seconds back of Johnny Bell running in 10th place right now.
Yeah, and we've still got, we talk about the Nissans, we've still got Fabian Jungbluth trying to get through from his bad start, trying to find him, he had to take that pit stop, and he's still trying to get through all these Audis here. He's only gotten to, where is he at? Joni Kajanen right now. Kajanen, he's managed to pick up 4. There's more in front of him, obviously.
Tell you what, Trandre had a bit of a rough start over in the Audis, but you can see he's still pressuring Laughter, although right now he has to let Jungbluth go by. Just look at how much quicker Jungbluth is able to make his way through the turns and down the straights as opposed to these Audis.
Yeah, Jungbluth having his way right now with the Audi field. That's fine. They've done a good job of letting him through. it won't be long. They won't have to deal with him much longer. But the front of the Nissan field is going to have to deal with these Audis here real soon. In fact, they're coming up on Richard Gill now.
Yeah, well, Tapani Lino Luruto has done the right thing, though. He's been able to build out a 2-second cushion over Arto Iamaki in these opening 5 laps of a race. And, of course, that will help him if he does get caught up in traffic. He'll know that he has that cushion behind him. However, the battle for third in the GTP class is definitely hot and heavy. Whoa, and getting very close there as they went by Richard Kell. Rob Almanac only just ahead of Jamie Hall for 3rd and 4th place. And joining in that Ben Laughter over Trandre battle now is Hone Kaisinen.
Yeah, Yoni Kaisinen right there in that. This is going to be a great battle for Yoni to try and work through here. Obe's not going to give it to him, but Obe's had a peculiar start today. The mistakes have come early here. Look for Yoni to try and pick one up here real quick. Maybe try and get the 2 for 1, but that's going to be a tough call trying to get around Ben Laughter also.
With Ben Laughter bouncing over the curbs a little bit there. Got to be careful with the off tracks on this circuit. Oh, and yeah, he may have gotten the slowdown there. I wonder if that's what triggered that.
I think you're on to something there, Sam.
Yeah,
I'll go back to look here real quick.
There's no incident limit for this race because these cars are so tricky to drive, but you still want to avoid them. They cost you time.
Yeah, boy, I'm just not seeing it here initially where he might have gotten that. It's odd. Maybe he had a problem. Something come loose there in his rig. Oh, no, you know what? I did find it. Yep, looks like he had a little bit of trouble there out of Hawthorne Bend, or I'm sorry, in Westfield.
This is Lino Laruto and Iamaki now working their way through this tight pack of Audis that we've been watching all day long. There's also a battle for third going on in the Audis with Thompson just ahead of Scurry now. So Lino Laruto and Iamaki trying to get through this pack as cleanly as possible, also as quickly as possible, and the Kaisinen wasn't making it easy there. It could backfire on him. Ben Laughter now right on his rear wing.
Wow, Iamaki just getting there at the wrong time. Gonna lose a lot of time to Little Wilto right here. He shoot up. Watch out, Riley Thompson. Woo!
So all of the drivers been able to maintain their positions, at least for now, but unfortunately for the drivers, Sean, this is going to be going on for the next 30 or so minutes.
Head on a swivel, buddy. Head on a swivel today. Oh, and this great battle that we were seeing between Kaisinen and Obe and Ben Laughter. It's still a strong battle. Scurry with trouble off the turn. He almost lost the rear end on it.
Yeah, that was definitely a scary moment. Go ahead. A big trouble for Trandre.
Yep, more trouble for Obe Trendgrade. And now, look, Franco Scurry and Ben Laughter, or I'm sorry, Yoni Kaisinen going at it now. It's Laughter and Kaisinen. Got my colors mixed up there.
That's okay, Bill. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, Kaisinen not able to slip the move on Laughter yet. He almost got into him there a moment ago. You just see the continued barrage of Nissans coming through here, Sam.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this pack, all this traffic already has done, and that was close the gap for 4th and 5th place in the GTPs. Oh, and we just had a pass right in front of us. That's Radol. We'll get a replay of this one. Radar making a move.
Looks like he got a little help from the traffic there. But good move indeed. Picks one up, gets himself into 7th. Go back live here and continue to watch the battle.
Yeah, but I was saying, all that battling, it seemed to allow Nicholas Mucanos to run down Rob Olmanek for 4th place over in the GTP division. However, the interval between those two has opened back up again.
Phil Lake really being hounded by Michael Houghton. Houghton's caught him. Houghton's thinking about it. Almost had a chance when the traffic was coming through there. He's going to get another opportunity here. Comes Radar Anderson through. Going to catch him in a good spot here on the front straight. It did disrupt Phil Lake's line just a little bit, though. Houghton not able to take advantage of it. He's going to break deep into Druids, I'm sure. Not deep enough. Now the Nissan with John Keefe to worry about as he makes his way through. Right now, Phil Lake just seems to be hooked up, Sam. A great qualifying effort and good race pace. That'll be hard to beat today if Phil can just keep it in the gray.
Yeah, I wonder if O'Keefe is being a bit more, well, I was about to say he's being a bit more conservative trying to get by the traffic here, and that could be costing him, but you saw he was quite aggressive down the inside of Philip Lake there as they went into Hawthorne.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joni Kajanen really wants this position for Ben Lafter. He still presses, Sam. Yoni's still trying to get into the top 5. Add Ove Trengray to that mix. Franco Scurry keeping him just behind.
Oh, contact over at the far end of the circuit. Johnny Bell goes off course, and that was triggered by the fact that Michael Rutenbrink has finally, but here we go with these Audis side by side.
Yeah, Ove Trengray gets the move on Joni Kajanen and gets that done out of the Clark curve. But it's Franco Scurry that still leads this pack in 4th. Sam, we've got this replay for everyone.
Yeah, remember Michel Rutenbrink had an off course on the opening lap that dropped him to the back, and he finally caught up with Johnny Bell and attempted his first pass on another GTP car of a race. It just didn't go to plan. He got into the back of him, and Bell went off into the grass but was able to recover. You see, I'm pretty sure there was a bit of contact there, and Bell, though, was able to save it on that slippery stuff and continue. So, few incidents there for Rutenbrink early on. One on the opening lap and one there, but he'll try and continue his charge through the field, see how high he can get. This GTO battle still hot and heavy, Sean.
Yes,
and they've caught Scurry, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, no, Scurry's been at the front of this, but yeah, they've started to reel him in even more. Rutenbrink going to get through clean. It was a good spot to pass them on the front straight. But, oh, Scurry going wide. Oh, here comes Ben Lafter into Druids. Ove right behind him, locking all 4 of them up. Side by side, and boy, Scurry's still fighting it. Scurry, oh, that was a 3-for-1, guys. 3 for 1 there. Poor Franco back to 7th.
Yeah, I think Scurry was starting to maybe struggle with either the pressure of holding off those cars behind him or his rear tyres, Sean, because we've seen him over the last couple of laps sliding a little bit on exit, and that time it finally bit him. Yeah, that's Johnny Bell back there who's been blinking a little bit, which isn't going to help the GTO drivers as he goes to put them a lap down. And now Johnny Bell also has to worry about Dream Blue. Let's not forget his unscheduled stop at the end of lap 1. He's trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah, Sam, if you've had to make a stop, then obviously you're fighting from behind the 8 ball. Boy, Laughter and Laughter and Ove Trendgrade continue to go at it. Now the traffic's coming through. There's Youngbluth.
Yeah, watching all of this.
Ove takes advantage of that. Tries to anyway, and again.
Oh, and off goes Bell. That's pretty much where Clayton McLeod just also had an off around this portion of the circuit. He lost a lot of time, no position, so. Chantre still on the back of Laughter as they go down the back, and we got to remember though, Sean, these drivers probably content to run like this right now, considering the fact there's still over half this race to go, and a lot can happen with the amount of traffic we're seeing out there.
Well, we've already seen a fair amount happen, and yeah, they're trying to reduce that. Man, Laughter's got to be careful with the cut courses. He's pushing the envelope just every time around. Listen, I get the pressure, but the slowdowns will hurt you more than anything. And he is, seems like a couple of times now, he's cut off Westfield and Sheen just a bit. Kaizen is still there. No recovery from Franco Scurry, unfortunately. Fought early and fought hard. Here we go, Kaizen looking to make the move from the outside. On Trendgrade, he's going to try and cross him over, maybe? No. Trendgrade gets away clean down the hill.
So all this going on behind Philip Lake, Michael Houghton, and Riley Thompson, our current podium runners in GTO. Haven't gave much of a shout out to our front runners in GTP. That remains to be Tapani, Lina Luruto, Arto Iamaki, and Jamie Hall, as we pretty much are hitting the halfway point here.
Yeah, this one just flying by here today, Sam. But we knew
I'm sure it doesn't feel like that for the drivers, though, Sean. They're probably thinking, man, we still got to do all this for another 20 minutes? Oh, this has got to be intense, keeping an eye on their mirrors all the time.
I think the first of our Nissans has fallen victim to coming a lap down. Johnny Bell just losing one there, Sam.
Yeah, Bell not having the greatest of races out there today, but keeping it going. All 23 cars that started this race are still in it. I'm surprised I can say that, and I'm not sure I'll be able to say that at the end of this. And I don't think I'm jinxing anyone by saying it, Sean, because I think they're all on the ragged edge anyway.
Sam, I'm with you. Yeah. You know, the peanut gallery just made a good point. Such a narrow track for such wide cars. Certainly the Nissan is it's, boy, that's a bit of a block of wood. 4x4.
But the cars are hard enough to drive where it makes overtaking possible because it's so easy to make a mistake.
Well, we've definitely seen some great passing opportunities down in the Druids and in Surtees. Guys going side by side. So great racing here. The Nissans coming through the field quick, but haven't wreaked as much havoc as one might expect. So everybody getting along here so far through the halfway of the first half of the race here, Sam.
Reed Miller has run down Marco Kika. These two have been running behind that battle that we've been watching all race long. Meanwhile, Hone Kainen just had an off, and that's costing him a lot of positions.
Yeah, Joni didn't need that. He had been moving through the field so well. You know what? When we go on
bit
replay,
of help
he
from
did.
traffic. Nice
Oops.
job to hold on to it, actually.
Yep, didn't pick that up on my replay there initially, but yeah, he did get a little help. Yoni's still hanging on though, and still in sixth. And Ben Laughter getting by Ove Trengrade here. God, these guys have been fighting the whole race. Not yet, not yet, and he's not going to get on Ove. He's going to just miss out on that opportunity to get around Ben Laughter.
He's still going to continue to hound him. Of course, Ove also, though, points racing over there in GTO, coming in with the small points lead that he did. But can you really afford to be points racing at this late in the season if you're running in 5th place? Do you need that 4th position?
Well, Ove sure does. I mean, Ove's just hanging on to the championship right now. It's not, you know, we've got still week 12 and a bit of a mistake there from Laughter. Ove going to go down to the inside into Druids. Going to try this again. And they bang fenders there for just a moment. But Laughter able to hang on to that inside track. And again, Ove's got to get back to work here, Sam.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look. One of the problems Chandray has got to consider here, Sean, is, you know, we get 4 drop weeks at the end of the season. 3 of these drop weeks have been no-shows where he scored 0 points. So it's not like he can afford a last place finish as he gets a good run on after there. Because when we go to Daytona for the finale next week, if he were to get in an incident there again, you know, one of those incidents would count for his, would count in the points.
Yeah, and that's got to be considered for sure. I'm impressed here. Always going to try it again. Go to the outside. Going to try it from the top of the Clark curve now.
Not able to.
It's not there. Not there.
Not able to make it happen. A little less traffic for these drivers to deal with now. Not by much, but Johnny Bell has been our first official retirement after. As Chandray goes off into the gravel. They'll have to wait a couple more laps before another attempt. Meanwhile, John Keefe also been shown as off course, but he's back on. I don't think it cost him anything.
Boy, Franco Scurry lost those spots. He's picked one of them back up, trying to taste down Joni Kajanen. And he's having to do it while Michel Riggenbrake makes his way through here.
Yeah, in front of all of this, Riley Thompson was only just handing on in front of his Spalloid Scurry behind him for the longest time, but once all that action started picking up ahead of him, behind him, he's kind of just been able to run away and having a quiet race there, 3rd in class right now, which is quite good, very good, considering the fact he's in the number 18 machine. So we watch Clayton Cloud work his way around the course.
Yeah, it's
Here's Riley Thompson. Go ahead, Sean.
It's going to be a solid points day if he can just hold station. And this is precarious here. Ove Trengrade, Michel Riggenbrake still trying to come through here. He's going to get it finally at the end of the straight up the hill. And Ove Trengrade going to get on the binders there. Almost runs Laughter over heading down the hill.
Yeah, a good battle shaping up over here in the GTP class. Louis Emerton has Radar Anderson not too far behind him. We've seen Anderson making some good moves throughout the field. He'd like to make one more. How does he deal with Emerton? Because currently they have no traffic in front of them. That's rare.
Yeah. Definitely rare here, past the midway point of the race. Oh, big trouble here, almost for Ben Laughter. Wow.
Yeah, that was our race leader.
McLeod.
Yeah, not only McLeod, but the race leader, Lino Luoto, almost got involved in all of that. The good news there for all of them is that Lino Luoto has a 6-second lead, so he can afford to back out of it a little bit. It's very close quarters.
Back to it. There's that Mind Trick Motorsports blockbuster machine leading the way. He is in 4th. Trent Grade following behind in 5th. Yodi Kajanen still very much in this. If you're just now joining us, Kajanen starting all the way at the back of the field in this race. Now finds himself worked up to, we got him at 6th right now.
So Arto Iamaki has been able to close the lead to Lino Luoto back down the, well, he had that 4 seconds at the line, but Iamaki just had to get through the GTO leaders, that GTO battle over at Droid, so he actually lost another 2 seconds. That Marco Kika in the pits.
Oh, and you know what? Kika had a spin. Trying to see where it was, actually. It was, it was out of Surtees. And he has trouble getting back to the power. Spins it, noses it into the barrier. And I don't know that there was a whole lot of damage. I think he was just defeated, to be really honest with you.
Yeah, there was only one driver left running behind him on course, and that was Richard Keogh. You saw Marco Kika right before he wrecked was running behind Hideki Koivisto. Koivisto had just passed him a couple laps ago for that position. Oh boy, things getting really tight up in Druid's Almanac, going by that pack. Laughter, Trandre down the inside. Here comes Kaidenen on the outside. Now he's going to be looking on the inside through the left-hander. They were 3 abreast coming out of going through Droids there.
Boy, I can hear the turbo blast to Ove Trengrade trying to get this spot away, and he's opening the door, though, for Yoni Kajanen. Got to be careful. I respect the fact that you got to get that spot away from Laughter, but boy, it can ill afford opening up another spot for Kajanen.
This is Nicholas Mukonos, and off goes Trandre, pretty big. That's Mukonos trying to work his way by them one at a time. He's got 2 of them behind him. Now, Mukonos has a pretty solid 5th place right here, to be honest. He's got 6 seconds up the road to sorry, I thought he was going to pits. To Olenek, and he has about 10 seconds behind him. Camerton. Here comes Kajanen. Yep.
Kajanen really looking to take this spot away from Ove. Ove gets really wide, but has the grip down the hill. Now he's got too much trouble. Too wide, sliding the car through the turn. Great job of bringing it back in and recovering from that, Yoni Kajanen.
Yeah, Trandre seems to be making more and more errors as we enter the closing stages. But I noticed, Sean, we've been talking about how these drivers have been racing close but clean. I guess it hasn't been as clean as I thought, because Laughter has a bit of a punch in his head.
You know, I hadn't picked that up until you just said something there, Sam. That might have him a little off on pace. Okay, you know, yeah, there could be some suspension damage even. Going to make it hard for him to catch Riley Thompson with any kind of damage, because Riley is, 4.5 seconds up the track right now.
Kajanen and Trandre continue their side-by-side battle, and it looks like as they come around to complete lap 21 of what we anticipate about 29 laps for these Audi drivers, Kajanen finally has it, but I doubt Trandre is going to let him have it that easily. Oh, and off goes. That's a lapped Audi. That's Richard Curl.
You know, Sam, to the drivers' credits, we haven't seen a whole lot of incidents today, really.
I think a lot of them have picked up incident points by running off, but we've only had 2 cars retire, and really both of those cars could have continued.
Probably so, yeah. Again, I think we owe a lot of thanks to the Nissans for calculating their moves pretty well and managing this traffic.
The Krydron and Trandrae battle continues. Boy, there's 3 abreast with the GTP of Anderson, who just wants to get around it, and he's able to. And one driver who's worked his way up into this mid-pack battle now is Reed Miller. He has run down Franco Scurry, who we saw running as high as 4th earlier on. Yep. Unfortunately, Scurry's dropped back. Oh, and Trandrae and Krydron are both off! And into the wall goes Krydron.
Oh, boy. Krydron gets a run on Trandrae. You're going to see it here. They're coming into Clark Curve, and you're going to see Krydron get a run on Trandrae. They make the... Boy, Krydron was all up on the curb right there when he got that run down the hill.
That's a very bizarre incident.
Yeah, it really kind of was, Sam. I'm going to go on board with Yoni Krydron here.
Was that a brake check?
Wow. Sam, my
initial thought, I saw him slow on the exit of a turn from our first shot, so I was trying to think, well, did Trandrae miss a shift or something? But there, he had his brake lights on. I don't know if that was an intentional brake check or if he had lost control on the exit and he kind of just needed to tap the brakes to stabilize the car. I guess that'll be his argument.
Yeah, maybe so, Sam. That's one that's a little bit too close to call. No reason speculate that one. Maybe we get a chance to talk to either one of those drivers and get their point of view on that. It came at a cost. I mean, he's got more damage on the front end of the car now.
Now, while these GTOs have been having fantastic battles all race long, things have been pretty processional over in the GTP class. But that could be getting ready to change in our final few laps here, because Jamie Hall is not far behind Ian Markey for second.
Yeah, not very far at all, Sam. These two look to battle it out here in the last few minutes of the
race.Meanwhile, after this incident, Krydron was able to continue. He's got damage on his machine, but he's still out there on course.
Sam, I'm starting to wonder if we're going to have a battle in the GTOs here. Different car, Sean. Michael Houghton really starting to make some small gains on Philip Blake. Got it down to right at about a second, just under a second now. I wonder... Still some traffic coming through, man. You've got Radar Anderson still back there. He's got to get through these two. Then they'll get a break from the traffic. It's going to be up to them.
And we mentioned Ove Trandrae has a narrow points lead in the GTO class. Well, this is a driver he has that narrow points lead over, is Michael Houghton. Now, of course, trouble for Franco Scott.
Yep.
That's Scurry off. Scurry is off, hard into the wall.
Well, Sam, it looked like their trouble is going to start here in the Clark Curve. They're side by side. This is them coming out of 8 out of Sterling's Bend down the straightaway in the Clark Curve. They'll be side by side. Franco keeps it on the turf right there. Half turf, half asphalt, and then all of a sudden it kind of just gets sucked to the left there and he hits the wall, and boy, it took him a long time to get going.
And the battle for second for GTP is on. Scurry had to take a tow to the pits because of that damage. Iamaki and Hall running nose to tail with less than 5 minutes to go in this race.
Oh boy.
course, they have to deal with the lap traffic. That's Ben Laughter, still running fourth after all the action we've seen him in today.
Sam, I think I might have cursed Michael Houghton. Talked about him making some small gains. He's fallen back to over a second now. Continue to watch this battle here. That's Riley Thompson getting out of the way, letting them get by.
Still going to be a good point stay, the Houghton. The point I was trying to make just a moment ago is that he's the driver second in the points behind Chandray. When Chandray, with all the action he's been in, is back in fifth. So I think Houghton might actually come out of this race with a points lead.
Yeah, Ove just really off today, Sam. I think at the end of it, we're just going to realize it. Not his best day here in England.
All right, so as Ian Markey and Hall come to the line ahead of them, let's get camera on Tapani Linda Luoto as he crosses the line. I want to see what the clock's at as he goes across. 3 minutes 15 seconds. Do some math, that's about 3 laps left to go.
Sam, please don't violate the GSRC commentator's code, okay? No math. Yeah. Hall's got a shot here. Just where is he going to take his shot? That's the big question. It's just so few opportunities here. I don't like Hall's chances of getting through right here, Sam.
Yeah, so we're keeping an eye on this battle, and even though you mentioned that GTO battle was breaking up a little bit, Michael Houghton just ran his fastest lap of the race, but it's only a couple hundredths faster than what Philip Lake did last time by.
Yeah, their pace up here has been pretty consistent, Sam. Their speed has been consistent and close, and that's the problem Houghton's going to have right now. Got to hope for a little help maybe from this traffic coming through. There's more behind them.
Oh, Ben Laughter having a big slide, and wow, he's going to stop. What is going on with Ben Laughter here? Some kind of hardware issue? This will move Trantere up a critical position in these championship battles.
You know what? He had trouble grabbing a gear there.
Oh. I have never seen a transmission problem in iRacing before.
Oh, you know what, Sam? Yeah, the Audi and the Nissans, both notorious for having some training issues, Sam. We've seen motors blown in the Nissans.
And Richard Keith now in the wall. He's had to spin in the closing stages here. These drivers have been able to keep it clean all race long until the closing 3 minutes. And the battle for second, though, still very hot in GTP.
Sam, the white flag is out. Little Awuto has got it, coming around. Out of Clark Curve now, it's Phil Lake. He's going to take the white flag.
Yeah, Louis Zemerton from 6th place. I think he's having some transmission issue or something. He's rolling back across the track right now. I don't know if he has any control over the car. We're watching the replay here, but fortunately he got off track before the leaders came around.
He had a malfunction of some kind, Sam. Hard to explain what that might have been. Maybe he'll come in and talk to us afterwards, but that it wasn't anything he did wrong on the track. He had something go wrong on his end.
So Laughter is out. Emerton is off course. Kill has a crash at the end, but one driver who has had an absolutely flawless performance out there today is Tapani Linaluoto, who only has one turn left to go here. He's coming out of it now, up the hill to the checkered flag, and Linaluoto will take the win in GTP. Who will get second?
Well, it looks like it's going to be Maki with a clear run in second here. I don't think Hall's going to be able to get him here. It's going to be close. Hall flashing the lights coming across. Now, let's go to Phil Lake. Phil coming through Clark Curve. Sorry, I'll catch up now. Phil gets out of Clark Curve, and there he goes. He's going to come across the start-finish line. The winner today in the Kamel GT Championship. Michael Houghton just didn't have anything for him there at the end, but another great run for the Texan this week. Second place.
Yeah, the battles still aren't over. We have a battle for 5th place going on in the Audis. Hone Kaitanen, who has gone forward and back. His car definitely has wounds to show for it. Reed Miller, I haven't mentioned him a whole lot, but he might be able to come out of here with the top 5 if he can find a way by Kaitanen in the last turn, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that now, Sean. Although he's going to try it.
Oh, boy, taking a look. Ooh, he locked him up, locked up the fronts there. Looks like Kaizen's going to be able to get away and win that battle and take down the 5th place spot after starting at the back. Ben Laughter checking in. Sam, iRacing crashed on him. Just a hard, what he called a hard crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunate to see so many drivers hit trouble in the closing moments. We'll have a chance to talk with some of them as well as give you a full race rundown when we come back. We're going to take a quick break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Don't go away. Hello everyone and welcome back to Brands Hatch, where we just witnessed 40 laps of very entertaining racing here in the Kamel GT Championship. The driver who didn't get to see a whole lot of the entertainment in front of him, although there certainly was some lap traffic he had to get around, was Tepani Linnaluoto. He takes home the race win today by over 8 seconds ahead of Arto Iamaki. The interval between Iamaki and Hall, second and third place, a lot closer, 2 tenths across the line. Rob Olmenek comes home in fourth ahead of Nicholas Mukanos. A good top 5 run there by the guy in the 12. Talking about numbers, Radar Anderson in the number 16 finished 6th in class. John Keith in the number 17 finished 7th in class, ahead of Michael Rudrenbrink and Fabian Jungbluth, who were trying to rally their way back up through the field after early trouble. Clayton McLeod rounded out the top 10 in GTP and also overall. Louise Emerton unfortunately hit trouble late on. He'll be ranked 11th in class, and Johnny Bell much further down the order. Sean.
All right, Sam, let's go to the Audis here. And Phil, in and around the lake, getting his big win, his first win in an Audi, at least on a broadcast anyway. And congratulations to him. Michael Houghton, the Texan, comes home in second, gave good chase there at the end, just not enough. Riley Thompson with a bit of a quiet drive today. He'll take that third place spot on the podium, though. Ove Trengrade, he was really the big loser today. Well, along with Ben Laughter, had a crash, but Ove just not on point today and fought hard, but only fourth. Is going to get it. Yoni Kajanen coming from the back to finish fifth in class. Reed Miller, Canadian, having a good run today. He'll finish sixth. Hideki Koivisto, seventh. Ben Laughter, of course, we charted the trouble he had at a PC crash, an iRacing crash, not a PC crash. He'll finish eighth. Ninth, going to go to Richard Gill. And 10th, Franco Scurry. And just really sorry to see he had the bad luck there. The Tifosi is sad. Marco Kika finishes 11th today. And Johnny Bell had his trouble. And he is going to finish this in his Nissan at the end of the field there, 23rd today.
So those are the drivers who might want to forget today's race. One driver certainly won't know. Tapani Lina Luoto, a very controlling, very dominant victory out there today. How was it?
Well, it certainly wasn't easy, I can tell you. It's a great track. It was one of my all-time favorites, Brands Hatch, and it's always a great fun with these high downforce cars.
Yeah, one thing that looked to be tricky for everyone, whether you were the leader or whether you were running in last place, was traffic. We saw on camera you had a couple of scary moments out there. It was your goal to build up as much of a lead as you could over Arto at the start of a race so that you could afford to take it a bit easier in traffic?
Yeah, certainly if you have a few seconds extra, that makes things a lot easier. So after I had like 4 seconds, I knew the traffic would kind of balance itself out, and I wasn't in such a hurry to pass the Audis, but it's a difficult track to pass them. There's a few corners that I learned in the race that they are not so nice to pass there, but overall, a couple of hairy moments. Overall, it wasn't too bad though.
Now, unless I'm mistaken, you're not one of our championship contenders really in this series, but you're definitely a top performer when you show up. Are the leaders going to have to deal with you over in Daytona? You plan on racing at the season finale?
Well, I always take a day at a time. I'm not sure when I race, and so that's why I'm not in a championship. And Daytona, it's usually quite a nice race there. And so maybe I'll be there.
All right. Well, we hope to see you, but we understand if other commitments come up. Thanks for coming to talk to us today, Tapani, and thanks for putting on the great show.
Thanks.
All right, Sam, Tapani Luoto, big win for him today. And now we've caught up with Phil in and around the lake. Phil, that was your first win in an Audi on a broadcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Man, it was a good one, and it all started at the drop of the green flag. Buddy, you got a country mile jump on him. What happened there?
Yesterday's race, I was on pole, and I was on the outside because pole depends on how many Nissans there are for the Audis. And so I was just pleased I got the inside today. And yeah, I got a good jump. I don't know what happened with Ove.
Well, it didn't get any better for Ove within that first and second lap, and he continued to drop through the field. The start so important here. Not a whole lot of passing opportunities, are there, Phil?
No, there's not. Yeah, when Ove dropped back and Mike was up behind me, I knew if I just kept it clean and didn't make any mistakes, I should be able to hold him off.
Yeah, there at the end, he seemed to get a little bit faster, though. Those closing laps of the race, were you mining the gap just over those closing laps?
No, I was 100% from green to checkered.
Well, it was an exciting one. You certainly deserve congratulations after spending so much of your time in that Nissan this season. You committed to the Audi, and I'd say the progression has been a successful one because you finally got a win with just one round to go.
Yep, I'll be back in the Audi next season, so hopefully I'll get some more.
Nice, very nice. All right, well, you broke the news here on the Global Sim Racing channel, and we thank you for that. So, congratulations. Go get the S album on for me, and then we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll do. See you, Sean.
All right, buddy. See you then. All right, that was Phil in and around the lake, and I think we're going to catch up with Michael Houghton real quick, and he was the guy chasing Phil. Sam, you've got him.
Yeah, Michael, just a little bit too short there, but at the end of the day, this has got to be a good day for you in the points as we enter crunch time in the championship.
Yeah, that was my main goal coming into this race, just stay ahead of Ove.
Yeah, it was quite easy to do. Ove, well, it seemed to be a little off the pace this week. Have you been able to talk with him, or did you know that this wasn't his course?
No, I usually don't see much of the drivers until race day, so it's a mystery until I see what's happening on Saturday.
Yeah, well, fortunately, this time around, Saturday paid dividends for you. However, this track completely different to Daytona, where we go next week. Do you prefer these twisty courses?
Oh, definitely. This provides a lot of excitement and suspense, and it's way, in my opinion, with these cars, it's way better than something like Daytona, where the draft can come into play. So yeah, definitely twisty for me.
So it will be a tight championship fight going on next week at Daytona. What have been your best memories coming out of a season, even if you're not able to pull the championship off in a week's time?
I mean, this is one of the best series, if not the best series on iRacing. And I think the best thing that I can pull out of this is the friendships I've made throughout the seasons I've been on here, and the great racing. So there's nothing better.
All right, well, congratulations on a strong run today out there, Michael, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, and I'd like to congratulate Phil and the Nissan winner. Congrats, guys, and thank you, guys. See you next week.
All right, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for interviews here tonight at Brands Hatch. But as we mentioned, in the same time, same place here on the Global Sim Racing channel next week, these drivers will be at their season finale at Daytona International Speedway. As Michael just mentioned, the draft is going to be huge there. So we're going to see some very interesting racing. Yeah. I don't know, Sean. What do you think? What do you think is going to end up happening next time around?
I think it's going to be war at a very high rate of speed. Sam, it's going to be fun. Daytona is always fun. Certainly my favorite roval, if we want to call it that. But a lot of history there, and these two classes will get around. In fact, we're going to get a chance to see the Audi actually compete with the Nissan on the oval section of the track when they get wide open and start doing a little drafting together. That'll be exciting, Sam.
And you will get to see it all here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but we're not able to make all this happen ourselves. We would also like to thank the Kamel GT community for coming here today and putting on a very action-packed show. We would also like to thank the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts. There you see them all listed on your screen. Additional thanks goes out to Eric.com and Casey Lalonde who provide us with our great music. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of their fantastic work. Thanks to the team today. That would be Sean, Armjed and Dougie, and also Wesley Wickens, who was helping us out as a spot on the side. Very interesting information he provided us throughout the race that kept this broadcast going. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, visit us at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on social media on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel. All of the upcoming races for our other series are listed on screen, so check those out, mark them down on your calendar, and don't miss another second of exciting racing action. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.